Okie dokie. Feral Guide 1.0. First rule of business, if you're not a sparkling cat, is DPS loss. First order of business is this is your talent setup. Sabertooth is what refreshes your rip every time you Ferocious Bite, and Blood Talons is the only thing that you're really going to focus on actively while you're doing your rotation. So first, you want to start off with a regrowth. So you get 2 stacks of Blood Talons right up here. So my next 2 abilities are empowered. Basically, every time you refresh a dot, you're going to want a Blood Talons proc on that one. So what activates it is regrowth. Obviously, I have this macro so that I don't press regrowth while in cat form, and it takes me out of cat form when I don't have proc, so it'll only allow me to cast regrowth while I have Blood Talon, while it has a Blood Talons proc. So how you get it is by spending, let's see, 4 or 5 combo points. So I just spent 5 combo points, and now I have a regrowth proc. Press that, I get Blood Talons. That's it. Alright, so Talons, that's how Blood Talons works. That's the most complicated part of Feral. That's it. Azerite traits don't change your rotation, so don't worry about that. If you really want to know what the most optimal Azerite traits and stat priority and trinkets, just ask me in person, because I'm not going over that. So the first thing you want to do when you're doing a single target rotation is start off with regrowth, so you get your 2 Blood Talons procs, pop into cat form, stealth, and you can pre-pot, cast any cooldowns in stealth, and it'll keep you in stealth, so you don't have to worry about that. But before your Blood Talons runs out, you want to pop your Tiger's Fury and your Berserk and open with a Rake and then a Rip. So I have these 2 big bleeds. Oh, come on. Whew! Got it. These 2 big bleeds fully empowered at the start of the rotation. So after you do that, let's see. I want to reset it because it's really fast after you have like a certain window of time before after you apply your first bleeds. Okay, so regrowth, cat form, stealth, pop. Tiger's Fury is your main snapshot ability. You pop Tiger's Fury, Rake, Rip, and then Shred up to 5 combo points. And if you don't have the energy like me, use Brutal Slash. And basically, once you get up to 5 combo points again, and you have this regrowth proc, you want to use it, and you want to Ferocious Bite Rake every single time. That's the most important thing, because you're snapshotting Rake, so you want to get up to 5 combo points, or 4, really. Oh, this is so hard. Okay, how do I... So the main rotation, just while you're doing it, is get to 4 combo points, regrowth, Rake, so it's snapshotted once. I have 1 more Blood Talons, Ferocious Bite. And those are my 2 procs. And you do that over and over again while trying to do it inside of a Tiger's Fury window. So Tiger's Fury Rake, Ferocious Bite. Well, spending those 2 blood. See, like, Blood Talons, Shred, Ferocious Bite. Because I didn't need to refresh Rake. Blood Talons, Rake, Ferocious Bite. Shred up to 4, Regrowth for Blood Talons. So here you have, like, the time, the thinking. I had 4 seconds left on my Tiger's Fury, and every time you cast a Rake, you want to put as much as you can into that Tiger's Fury window to snapshot it. So I had 4 seconds left. Oh, it's like, do I have the energy? Do I have the crit buffs to generate enough combo points to get back up to 5 or 4, to not waste combo points and to not let Rake fall off in that time. So if you think you can, do it, but it's a risky business because say I'm at 4 combo points, and actually let's say I have spent my combo points. Tiger's Fury is up in 3 seconds. I got a crit. Can I get back up to 5 within that 4 seconds so I can snapshot it with the Tiger's Fury? And usually the answer is yes. Sometimes RNG gods hate you and you're stuck getting no crits and, chugging along 1 at a time combo points, and you miss it, Rake falls off, and it sucks. But it's easy to recover from because you have spent all that time getting up, like setting up your combo points so that you can have an optimal Blood Talons Tiger's Fury snapshot. It'll put on a very empowered Rake. So the DPS loss from letting Rake fall off for a second sometimes doesn't matter, because the next snapshot that you do is going to be worth it, I guess, so I'm just gonna do a rotation now that my Berserk is up from start to finish, and you can see kind of what order I press my buttons in, and it's very cookie cutter. The only thing that you have to do on the fly is deciding whether or not you want to wait to refresh your Rake with a Tiger's Fury. So I'm gonna try and say what I'm doing while I'm doing this too. I don't know. So Regrowth, Cat Form, Stealth, and then Tiger's Fury, Berserk, Rake, Rip, Shred, 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 Regrowth, Fight, Shred, 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 Regrowth, Fight, Rake, Shred, Shred, Regrowth, Fight, Shred, 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 Regrowth, Fight, Shred, 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 Tiger's Fury, Bite, Rake, Shred, Brutal Slash, Regrowth, Bite, Shred, Brutal Slash, Regrowth, Bite, Rake. So that's pretty much it, and you just do that infinitely. One thing that I forgot to mention is when to use Shred versus when to use Brutal Slash. Brutal Slash is a single target increase these days because it's just a raw combo point generator. It costs less energy than Shred. I think it's Shred's 30 or 40 energy, and Brutal Slash is 25. So when I'm shredding and I deplete my my energy. I have like nothing left, but Rake is about to, I don't know, has like 4 seconds before it falls off, and I've already committed to building back up so that I can refresh it in time, but I don't have the energy. You want to spend less energy. You can get more combo points faster with Brutal Slash. It does a little bit less damage, but it's like when you need to refreshing your dots takes precedent over the like, I don't know, like 5,000 DPS difference between Brutal Slash and Shred. Because, you know, if you're Rake, if you're just chugging along, and you're like, oh, you know, Rake has 8 seconds, I can get another cycle in of shreds and bites. Oh, that's 4 seconds. Oh, Brutal Slash, I need to get one more up to 4. Tiger Spray, Rake. You know? So, like, there, I didn't have the energy to shred again. So, I used a Brutal Slash so that I could make that timer with Rake. Oh my god. So, that's all it is. That's all Feral is. It's a combination of a priority rotation and a build spend rotation. Those are like, it's like a hybrid kind of thing. So it's not a pure build spend like Balance, where it's just you build up astral power, you spend it on finishers. You have a build spend component where you're building combo points with Shred and you're dumping them with Ferocious Bite, but it's also a priority thing because you're constantly evaluating how much time you have to build combo points. So it's like, am I going to use Shred, which has a higher crit chance, to get more combo points, or am I going to use Brutal Slash, which costs less energy, and I know I have 3 charges of, I can like just dump out and get 3 charges. It's a priority system of how much time left do I have on my Rake? Am I able to get another cycle of Ferocious Bites before I have to refresh my Rake, or should I wait? Should I pool energy, get some shreds out, and Tiger's Fury with the Rake? So it requires a lot of practice, but honestly, it will become muscle memory the more you do it. Like, and that's just it, you know? It's just dots, shred, dump, shred, dump. But making sure that you press for growth every 4th combo point, so that you can spend your blood talents on your Rake and your Ferocious Bite. Those are the only 2 abilities that you want to spend your blood talents on, because those are your 2 hardest hitting abilities. When you have, I mean, your Rip, if you do your opener correctly, will always be empowered or snapshotted with a Blood Talons and a Tiger's Fury, and you'll never have to worry about refreshing your Rip. So the only thing that you're worried about snapshotting is your Ferocious Bite and your Rake, because Tiger's Fury increases the critical strike of all your abilities with some Azerite traits. Yeah, Tiger's Fury increases your critical strike by a certain amount for 12 seconds. So every time you press Tiger's Fury, it's like you get a mini Incarn or a mini Celestial Alignment, because all those abilities that you're doing inside of your Tiger's Fury will just crit more, which means you want to be spending your Blood Talons, which also increases the damage of your abilities, inside of that Tiger's Fury window. So I really recommend that if you're interested in actually, you know, learning it, even just like casually, just hit a target dummy when you're bored and start getting the muscle memory of 4 combo points, regrowth, refresh my dots, ferocious bite, up to, you know, so it's like comma point, blood talons, bite, shred, or whatever. I don't know the names of my own abilities. So yeah, I can't. Oh, I just got a mini berserk because of that. Alright. So this is how you AoE also. Let's see. Primal Wrath is the baby daddy of feral AoE these days. You can take Predator, but I don't, because in keys especially, where I only take Primal Wrath, boss damage is still really important, especially on tyrannical weeks, so I can't. For me, it's a DPS loss to take Predator over Sabretooth, because I don't have the haste to manage rip on a boss, on a single target boss. So the AoE rotation is the same exact thing as the single target, except instead of using rip, you use Primal Wrath. So what you want to do is Blood Talons. You're in cat form. Sometimes it's worth it to stealth. Sometimes not really. But you want a Tiger's Fury, Thrash, Primal Wrath, build, and then Regrowth, Primal Wrath. And you just do that and swipe to fill. And instead of pressing Rake, you want to press Thrash, because it's an AoE bleed, you know. And you just keep doing that. Only spend your Blood Talons on Primal Wraths and Thrashes. If your Thrash has, you know, a lot of time on it, then don't worry about refreshing it. Don't worry about overwriting all of your Primal Wrath rips either, because the initial damage of Primal Wrath is hella nice. So you just keep doing this over and over. And if you want to get fancy, you know, do that, do some of that, here. And now we're cooking with fire, you know? And you just manage this. I usually only rake AoE when there's over 4 targets. I don't bother raking because it's a lot to manage, on top of like doing like trash mechanics or other shit like that. So, you know, just do some of this thingy thing. That's it. Oops. Yeah, that's basically it. So have fun. Have fun playing Feral. See. Remember, if you're not Sparky Cat, that's DPS decrease, so good luck.